A lot of people run from family businesses because they think they are inheriting someone else's vision. But who says it can be yours? A little history. Roban Stores opened its first store in 1999. Fast forward to 2019, we have 5 stores, and we intend on adding more to the mix by next year, God willing. And the aim of the company is to keep expanding to as many places as possible. As an only child, it was expected that I would join the business, but there was too much pressure for me because people kept on saying, "Are you sure he has what it takes? Are you sure he can be better than his father? Are you sure he can step into his shoes?" That was too much for me. It bothered me, but I kept that at the back of my head. But at the same time, I still wanted to explore filmmaking. So I went ahead to study multimedia designs in the university. But while I was in the university, there's this friend of mine who would always bring in clothes and shoes. He had a hard time selling them. So he reached out to me and said, "Rob, why don't you help me sell these things?" So I sold everything for him. Very easy. He brought in new ones, and every time he did, I'll sell out everything. We did this for a while. I graduated, got my bachelor's, went on to do my NYSC. While I was doing my NYSC, I spoke to friends and family. And a friend of mine said something that hit me one time. He said, "Rob, since I've known you, you've been selling things. Are you sure filmmaking is what you want to do?" And it hit me at that point because already I had an admission to Art Institute of Miami to study film production. So I changed to business management and I went to a different university. So while I was in university, I noticed that every single time the professor is in class and he talks about retail or he talks about the store, be it fashion department, grocery, whatever, we start to have a personal conversation. And every other person in class is left out. And this conversation will go on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Before I know, everyone in class is saying, "Rob, you're a show off." It's okay, we know. We know you know retail, we know you know this. At that point, you could see that my head was,
Retail.
my heart too, was retail. But I was a bit distracted about filmmaking because I thought I wanted to make a difference. So I finished as I was preparing to come back and join. My mom came up with a brilliant idea. And she said, "Why don't we wait for him to come back, then open the store?" Because at that point, we wanted to open our second store. So let's wait for him. He'll come back, open the store, allow the staff to get to know him, let him bond with them, build a relationship so they know who he is. Then you can open the store. And that was a fantastic idea. My mom has been really supportive over the years. I'm sure even if I told her I wanted to play volleyball, she would say, "Go ahead." But, but so I came back. But while I was in the UK, I knew I was coming back to this because where I worked at PJ Care, they actually offered me something. But I would always say, "I'm going back to Nigeria. I'm going to retail. I want to be the biggest. I want to be the biggest retailer in the country." I knew this. It was there. But as soon as I got back and I was named the executive director of the company, I became scared because now this is reality. I knew I wanted to do this. Doing it now is a different thing altogether. So I became scared. I was confused. I was overwhelmed. So far, I think that was the most difficult year of my life so far. So I quickly considered a few things, and the first was trust. There was no trust, and trust is in 3 levels. There's staff trust, there's the vendor's trust, and there's my parents' trust, of course. Then the staff referred to me as Oga's son, and you know what Oga's son means. Oga's son means we respect you because you're the CEO's son. The executive director means we respect you because you have a plan, you have a vision, and you're moving the company forward. I wanted to be the executive director, not Oga's son. Now, for the vendors and the suppliers, we would have a meeting and I'll walk into the room. And immediately they see me, they're looking at me. Who is this guy? And they would say, "Is your father not going to join us? Or is the CEO not going to join in this meeting?" Because no one trusted me. There was no trust. I had to build it. Trust, you build trust overnight. Now, my father, of course, I had to go, every decision had to go through him. Every single decision, because he didn't believe in me at then. And he knew I was going to join, but let's be realistic. You need time. You need to prove yourself. Now, what did I do? I had to address these issues. First of all, I had to rely on the key experts in the company, which are the most experienced people in the company. So I had to reach out to them, seek their opinion, and then act on it. Because you can seek someone's opinion if you're not acting, they're not seeing you. It's as good as nothing. So I had to reach out to them, learn from them, listen to them, because that is the most important thing in a family business. If you want to learn, if you want to grow, you have to be willing to listen. You have to listen. So what else did I do? There was this company we wanted to get, because in retail, for you to have the best price, the companies have to supply you directly. That way, there's no middleman, and you can sell and now there's so much competition everywhere, so we need to have the best price. So I told them, why don't we get this company so that they supply us and our prices are great? And they said, no, we can't get them. It's too difficult. We've been trying for years. I said, okay, no problem. I'll try myself. So I went out there. I did it myself, and I came back. And they were shocked. How did it happen? I did a few more. Now, what was I telling them? I was showing them, and I was not telling them. Because the problem we have most times is that people want to sit and tell, do this, do this. You have to show people to earn their trust. So after that, every single time I say, why don't we go and get this company? Everybody's moving because they believe if he can do it, we can do it too. He's done it before. Now, as soon as I started handling the vendors, I started taking care of the staff, I started to gain my father's trust. My father, my mom, because we're all together in this business. My parents' trust. Now, I remember one time he told me something. I think he said he went out, and his friend he was telling his friends that he came to the store. He walked into a store and asked them, "What is going on here? Why is this here?" He said, "The director said we should do." He said, "The director? Me, I'm the CEO. What's going on?" They are beginning to follow. Now they are beginning to follow. It's no more Oga's son. Now, because I am showing them and not telling them. Trust takes a lot of time. Now, another important one is mentorship, proper mentoring. Proper mentoring goes with a good succession plan. You see, most times when businesses fail, they look at the second generation, the offspring, us, and they say maybe because he's irresponsible, because he's this, and they forget to the predecessors. Did they teach him or her well? Did they bring them up the right way? Because the problem we have in this country is everything in this country is about age. So it's the same way the vendors will look at their older people. I'll come into the room, they'll look at he's young and we are older. Now they will say, why bring him in now? Let's wait. Maybe when he gets married, because in Nigeria everything has to be marriage. Maybe when he gets married, then he will join the business. Maybe when he's 30, he will join the business. Maybe when he's 40 or 50, whatever. But they forget that the offspring or the successor has to be in the business from birth. Now, for me, it was a different thing altogether because my father always had me around him. When I was in primary school, as soon as I finished school, I'm in his office. Whatever he was doing, I was around. Secondary school, vacation, I was with him. Every single time. Even when he was doing something, I'll say, Daddy's working. Things, as a child, things you see growing up, you never forget them. So I was always in and around the business. But still, that is not enough being in and around the business. You still need to brush up on some operational skills and entrepreneurship skills. So proper mentoring is very important. And for anyone here who is planning on passing it down to the next generation, this is very important. Now, the second part of mentoring is the first part. The second part is letting go. You can have a good succession plan. You can mentor your child well. But the next part is to let go. You have to step backwards and allow him make decisions. That's the only way they will learn. If they don't make decisions, they will never learn. Because a business that is around, that's why a lot of businesses fail. Because a business that is around the founder, as soon as the founder retires, the business crashes. Because it's all about the founder, it's all about the CEO. So you need to allow him to make his own decision. Now, the most important of all of them is culture. What is culture? Culture is the way we do things. Company A has a culture, company B has a culture. Now, culture consists of management style, organizational processes, routines, things as simple as what the dress code, what they wear to work, time they come to work, how we stock our shelves. This is culture. Now, the dangerous thing about culture, and this is where a lot of companies fail, is changing the culture. You don't change culture of the company. what you have to do to a culture of a company is understand the culture first, embrace the culture, and then build on it. That's what you do. It's as simple as that. Why change the culture? It has been working for 20 years. Why do you want to change it? Now, the culture is the heart. It provides rhythm and stability to a company. So changing it, of course, will cause a ripple effect. Now, a lot of people, young people like myself, they join the family business, and immediately from day one, they want to be known. See, we are going to fire 5 people. We are going to change this. We are going to change this. That's young people. That's what they want to do. They want to make instant impact, but they forget. See, the old way, when you mix the old way and the new way, there's a balance, and the company can grow. Now, any action the CEO assumes influences the subordinates or the staff. So if the CEO of a company is saying, let us focus on customer service, let us be cost effective, that is what everybody will do. Anytime they want to make any decision, let's not waste money. The CEO said it's all about cost. And anytime they are talking to their customers, it's all about customer service. So if anybody should call the CEO, there's a problem. Now, this is where success and failure, there's a thin line between success and failure, because now people would come and say, okay, why don't we remove customer service? Let us scratch being cost effective, and let us put marketing and promotions on top. No, you don't do that. Instead of doing that, like I said, you build. Why don't you say, since you've been focusing on customer service, we've been focusing on being cost effective, why don't we add marketing to the mix? Why don't we add promotion? Because the problem with family businesses, when I was in the UK, the company was a family business. So the problem we have is most family businesses don't think about marketing. They don't do marketing because they believe this business has been in the community, this business has been around for so long, there's a household name, why do marketing? Now, add promotions, it will boost our sales. Add marketing, we'll have more customers. Now I'm building on the culture. Now the second one is, something else I did was, we already stock our shelves, but how can we make it better? I said, okay, let's take the lowest selling products, move them to the end of the aisle. The highest selling products, let's bring them to the front of the aisle. And they said, why? Oh, I don't understand. He said, okay, now let me tell you why. A customer comes into a store, they are looking for Coke. They are not looking for any other drink. It's Coke. If Coke is in front or at the beginning of the aisle, they come, they take, they go. They don't see the rest. But if you move Coke to the end of the aisle, they come, before they walk to the end of the aisle, they've seen what other drinks they have, and they pick. Now, instead of buying just Coke, you see the person trying a new one. What have you done? You've improved your sales. Now, what did I do? I only improved the culture. I'm building on what I didn't tell them, okay, since we've been stocking things on the shelf, let us take them off and take them outside. No. So, what I'm trying to say is, culture is everything. Culture is everything. And in family business, like I've been saying, it's not about our legacies. Legacy is handing something from the first generation to the next. And it's not only about, I'm in retail, so I'm going to talk about retail. Whether you're in hospitality, whether you're in manufacturing, the same thing happens. There's still a culture. You need to gain trust. You need proper mentoring. These are things we cannot do without. And the trust part is very important, because 70% of companies fail due to disconnect between the incoming leader or the successor and the staff. It's like football. I know there are some people who watch football here. As soon as the coach loses the trust of the players, it happens now. I think for the past 2-3 years, a lot of coaches have been fired because players don't want to play for them anymore. It's the same thing. Businesses fail. You're saying A, they're saying B. Nobody cares. Now, what I want you to take out of this is, for success, a lot of people talk about hard work, hard work, hard work. It's not always about hard work. I think it's about doing the right things. Because when you talk about hard work, I don't think you're working harder than the bricklayers out there, or those people who are carrying blocks and cement and doing physical. Everybody talks about hard work. I don't think that's what this is about. It's about being focused. For you to build something, you have to be focused. And for young people like me, you have to be patient. Because a friend of mine one time reached out to me and said, I just joined the family business, where every single time I want to make a decision, my father does this or does that. I'm saying, you just came back last year and you want to make a decision. Me, I've been around for a while. You know, when I started making my own decisions. Like, you have to be patient. You just joined. As much as my father can be very difficult, I know. But he let me make decisions. It's not easy. What you need to understand, and what a lot of people need to understand, is the predecessor, they built this from ground up. You don't expect them to just hand it over to you. You need to prove yourself. And this is what we're talking about, legacy. Generation to the next one. So you have to be ready. You have to be committed. You have to be focused. You have to be humble. Humility goes a long way, because humility, if you want to learn, you have to come into the company, look at the most experienced ones, and say, how do we do this? Most times when I want to make decisions, I reach out to the managers, those ones who have been there the most, and I tell them, okay, I want to do this, I want to buy this. What do you think about it? I want to bring in this new thing. What do you think? And they tell me, and you learn. You're in a meeting and everybody's saying something. Gather the thoughts together and make decisions. That is how you grow. But everybody wants it quick, quick. You're making decisions. You know nothing about retail. You might probably read about retail, but running a business is different from what you read. Because I have a lot of books on retail, and everything is different from what I'm seeing in the field, on the field now. So now, what am I saying? Focus, humility, patience. This is how we grow. It takes time. It's about trust. Over time, we do this. Know your business inside out. The only way your staff cannot play with you is when you know your business inside out. If I know my business inside out, I will train new people and replace the old ones when they become a liability. But if you don't know your business, people won't do anything, because they know that once you get rid of them, you're not going to move forward. You have to know it inside out. Now, forget about what people say. I heard a lot before joining the family business, and I keep hearing things. Are you sure he can do it? Are you sure it's not just this? Are you sure? Forget about what they're saying. Over time, opinions will change. Over time, it changes. And to be honest, family business is not only about what you know. It's not only about hard work. It's all about God too. You need the grace of God. You need a lot of prayers. I know a lot of people think it's all about what we've read, what we've not seen. There's a lot involved. Now, another important factor is engage all the employees, engage the managers, engage the people I call the experts. Carry everyone along, especially those ones at the front line, the customer service personnel who is always talking to the customers, the, the cashiers at the till. They are the ones who talk to customers. They're the ones the customers relate to the most, more than any other person, more than those ones in the office. Those ones in the office don't know anything going on. They don't know what's going on. It's those ones at the front that know what's going on. Then, finally, inheriting a family business is like climbing a mountain from halfway up. Use it to your advantage and make the business yours. Thank you.